Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, so we are going to have a good morning this morning. We might get done a little bit early today. We're going to do a couple rounds of networking, and then we're going to hear from one of our new corporate sponsors. I want to thank Pacific Exterminators for being a new corporate sponsor. I'd like to give them a round of applause. We're going to have a presentation from them, and then we're going to do kind of a room-wide networking time.
So we're just getting started in January. How is everyone?
Good. Happy to be here.
Did you have a good New Year?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to start off this year. We did this a couple months ago, but maybe we could do again. So it's kind of like my morning routine. I say, what day is this? And then you guys say it's another day in paradise.
All right.
So, ready? What day is this?
It's another day in paradise.
Thank you.
If you'd like to find out more about what's going on, what events or whatever, everything is updated on the westlachamber.org website. And if you can't remember westlachamber.org, just Google West LA Chamber and it comes right up. So you can see all of our events there, as well as the Chamber Facebook page. The events are also updated on the Chamber Facebook page. I don't think we have an Instagram or a Twitter, but so you're stuck with Facebook and the website. Dr. Belmont.
We're going to get into that.
We're going to talk about that.
New look this year.
New look. You want me to start that one early?
New look.
Last year, everybody knows it. They were very quiet, very professional about it. That I looked exactly like Brad Pitt, only different. Okay, this year, in just a metamorphosis, and you can tell from my tie, from my Picasso tie, I decided, only by popular demand, because some people have been talking about this for a few years now, that now I look exactly like George Clooney.
Okay.
So this year, it's George Clooney. I look exactly like him, only different. Okay. And how we go from that to roaches and bugs, I don't know. But we're going to try to do that. There won't be a vote later, and it will be double counted, I guarantee. Okay, so my actual title is I am president of Pacific Exterminators in the Food Safety Division, but I get involved in all sorts of different things with the pest control company. And most pest control companies, as you well know, and I thought this way 10, 15 years ago, they're all the same. They mow, blow, and go. They go down, they spray, they send me a bill, I don't see the guy, and all I know is I get 15 spiders 2 weeks later. So that's kind of been the image of the industry on the downside, all right? So I got a call about, actually 16 years ago, from a gentleman. His name is Jim Derringer, and Jim said, listen, I am starting a new pest control company, and we know that 60% of all the restaurants and hotels that get shut down for roaches. And it's because predominantly the restaurant didn't keep things clean, or they let the roaches come in and then they just didn't identify it properly, and the health department came in and shut them down. I want to get out of this cycle. And I want to bring you in and give us advice on how we can handle managing roaches more than anything else. And then what we also see, because at that time, and it's still true today in my business since I started in 1996 with Food Safety Associates, one of the founders, is that bed bugs were starting to become a big issue. Much bigger today than it was in 2002. And I was doing some consulting for a company called Chiron that was doing research with beagle dogs. And these dogs have an ability to really sniff out bed bugs. And don't ask me why, but they just have that ability. So we would actually train the dogs. We would go into, not far from here, I know, it's on record, Peninsula Hotel, 5-star, ranked as the top 100 best hotels in the world. Not in California, not in the United States, not in LA. They're still my account, I still have them, and they had a bed bug issue. Okay, so they said, Dr. Manos, you're our food safety guy, what are you gonna do about it? So I got involved in training these beagle dogs to sniff out bed bugs. And the first room we actually did was Sylvester Stallone's room. Ironically with him, he was more worried about his eggs not being cooked properly than it was the bed bugs. And, but that's another story because obviously, you know, being at that point, Brad Pitt, you know, you're hanging around with those type of folks. So anyway, we actually found the dogs and we actually found the source. And the source was in the lobby, they had a couch. And people had sit on the couch, people coming in, the bed bugs got on the couch. And bed bugs are great travelers. They are wonderful travelers. You sit next to them, they are in your cuffs. They are in areas, okay, where you don't want to go. And that's how we got that one solved. And from that point on, Jim and I have been talking, and I've been referring business to Jim, and his business has been growing over the last 4 years pretty readily. Until last year, when a law came out saying that every time, and the real estate folks may know this as well, every time someone moves into an apartment, someone has to certify. Nikolai will love this because it's great, it's for lawsuits. Not that you would. And believe me, I'm so proud that you're part of this group. You have really honestly helped me out quite a bit. Your fees, no, I'm just kidding. He's awesome. So,
All good things cost money.
exactly. So they made a law saying if someone moves in, you must certify that there is no bed bugs in there. Well, people move in and out very quickly, all right? And they get in there and all of a sudden they're bit. And most of the claims are pretty legit. To give you how this thing is expanded, if you have 10 claims on bed bugs, the first 8, the average payout is about $100,000. The average payout. The last 2 are a little bit higher, $1 to $2.4 million. Because as an attorney, and I have it here, the list of what you can claim: distress, annoyance, I was late for work, I lost my job, I lost my vacation, my bags were gone, and so it's become a very big issue. Because of that, one of our board members, who has the 4th largest property management company in the state of California, contracted us out to do the bed bugs, to certify them. And he will tell you, off the record, that we probably saved them 4 lawsuits because we actually do the certifications. Okay, so we certify them. We actually do it twice to make sure that we do it right. Not that we do it wrong the first time, but just to ensure. We certify it when they go in, and then when they're in, we certify that they're not there because they can bring them in. So that has escalated the way that we're doing business, and the business is doubled. That's how I got involved in it. It's a big history, but the culture is this. And John Guerra is going to talk a little bit about the culture, what we do. We never wanted to be a average or below average. And nobody says this, but we actually wanted to be a quality pest control company. We wanted to differentiate ourselves from the others. So when I sat down and started doing actually a scientific study on how this is done, most pest control companies, believe it or not, they have the same guy that treats roaches as he does rats, as he does, bats. And so like, how can he be an expert in everything? There's like no way. So I got into specialization, okay? AP Sloan at General Motors used to say, we're gonna have centralized and decentralized control. So we would control what their schedules would be, but we have specialists. So that doesn't work well in a small business, because guess what? If you're a roach specialist and there is a problem in Santa Monica, and that afternoon there's one in Walnut, believe me, that's not an efficient way of doing it. But if you had enough volume, we could do it on the way there and we could do it on the way back. So that's what has allowed us now with the volume to be very efficient. We actually train people only to look for roaches, only to look for vermin and rats, only to look for mice, because you see this all the time. The guy comes out, he does it, he doesn't get to it. We had one pest control company at a restaurant about a mile from here. They said, Bill, they couldn't get the roaches out. And I said, well, where did they look? Well, they were over here. And I went, 200 roaches came throwing up, just hitting the wall.
Wow.
All right? To give you an idea, when we do our inspections, we actually pull all these covers out for bed bugs and we actually spray all organic. We start with all organic, natural stuff first. And if we have to hit the nuke stuff, we do that as well. But, you know, it's like, you know, the stuff that's going to give you cancer, and, you know, you're growing a third arm in 20 weeks. Okay, we try to stay away from that stuff as much as possible. But at some point, you know, and the laws are pretty stringent. You know, you almost have to fumigate. We have an issue that with a building at one of Chris's places where they just can't get rid of the bed bugs. 4 pest control companies have been in there, 4. And haven't been able to do it. So we've taken on that challenge at no cost, okay, to Chris, to make sure it gets taken care of, because I don't want these people bit. Because if I get in trouble with a new member like Jeremiah, we're going to be in big trouble, okay? And Peli's looking at me like, does this guy have rats in his car that he experiments with? So the point is, we're a bunch of specialists. We're a bunch of specialists. I was really totally against this, what we call heat treatments. They used to have heat to kill them. And they would actually get the room at your apartment up to like 160 degrees. And since this is a Picasso time, we had Picassos melting, you know, and getting into big lawsuits. But we've managed now, not our company, but the industry, to understand how that works. And if we have to, we'll fumigate. If you get into fumigation, it's really a weird thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's actually illegal to fumigate a restaurant. You have to get a special variance to fumigate it. We had, across from Roosevelt Place, the restaurant got fumigated. You know, that area that you're in, God bless you, you're the only person that has the golden A. I guarantee you're the only person that has an A on that street. But anyway, I'm going off too long, and you know, again, us old guys, we love the war stories, but that just gives you a little idea where the company's going. The biggest things that affect all these pest control companies are all the same. They want to charge you the most, do the least, and don't call me back. That's their big thing. Don't call me back, because callbacks cost money. There's actually companies that will write in there that if there's a callback, there's additional charges, which we don't do. Okay? And you say, well, Bill, how do you make money? Because we're putting out a quality product, the word gets out, we make it up on lost volume. No, we make it up in volume. Okay? Though I would say we're more of a niche company. So with that, Pele, welcome. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Layla.
Layla.
Yes.
Layla, thank you.
Thank you.
I would welcome him, but he was eating half my breakfast when I was in line. Gotta watch him. And I'm gonna turn it over to John, because John is like the person that really, he faces, you know, how can I put this, the vermin one-on-one. They actually, when he pulls in the parking lot, the vermin scatter.
Oh, he's coming.
Yeah, so John, you might give them a little more details of what we do, and thank you for your time. Before I go, one last thing. I picked this up on Lincoln. They sent it to me. I know they sent it to me on purpose. 8 things every person should do before 8 a.m. I took the liberty, it's actually 9. Okay, the 9th one is you must attend the chamber meeting every Wednesday. That's number 9. You should do it before. Of course, it's easy to do it before 8 because we're here at 7. But it's kind of interesting about what they think you should do. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Okay, so I went through. I did 3 of the 9, and that includes the chamber. So it shows you how bad it is. The first one I violate constantly. I'm gonna see if it's here. You can barely see it. It says, get a healthy 7 hours of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna happen with me. I had 4 days off all last year. I sleep on the 405 freeway in between the traffic, so that was one I didn't do well with. But anyway, look it up on LinkedIn. It tells you it's very helpful, I think. John, it's all yours, baby.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Guerra. Just want to let you know that Bill's the one that started me speaking in front of people because I was deadly afraid of speaking in front of people. I still am. But how do you get over your fear? Is by doing it. So, having said that, I'm going to start off with a poem, a different one. It's called He Who Knows. He who knows not, and knows not that he knows not, but thinks he knows, is a fool. Listen not to him. But he who knows not, and knows that he knows not, is a child. Teach him. Oh, but he who knows, but dreams he knows, is asleep. Wake him. Oh, but he who knows, and knows what he knows, and uses what he knows, and acts on what he knows, is a leader. And having said that, here at Pacific Exterminators, we want to become the leader, the next leader in the pest control industry. And by that, how we're going to do it is bringing, as Bill said, service back into the pest control industry. It's not about like emails. To me, I know emails are important, text messages, but sometimes they get thrown away. It's about communication. To me, communication is the key to a successful everything. So, having said that, let me give you an analogy of communication and connection. So what we want is a connection with our customers rather than communication. We want both, we want more of a connection. So when there's a cable wire, and the cable wires connect to the coaxial, but it's not tight, what type of picture do you get? It's like a fuzzy picture, right? But when you actually tighten it and connect it, it's a clear picture. And that's what we want with our customers. We want a clear picture. We don't want to just go to a house. We don't want to just go to a house and then pretend they're not home, not knock on the door. We want to find out what their problems are. A lot of the pest control companies are not going to put them down. They just want to go out there, go around the house, and not even connect with the customer. We're different. We don't cut corners. We inspect corners, and that's our goal. We want to bring the customer service back into the pest control industry. Sorry, I'm a little stutter. But anyways, having said that, I'm going to keep it nice and short. Thank you for listening. And my name is John Guerra. I'm with Pacific Exterminators. And next time, I promise it's going to get better. The more I do it, the better it's going to get. Thank you. Appreciate it. I almost may be as good as Buzz next time.
You will be. You'll be better. You'll take it and surpass. Dr. Bill is passing around a little flyer about the company, so please make sure you grab one of those before you go. But again, another round of applause for Dr. Bill and John. Thank you, guys. Now, I want to point out something, if I can get your attention, please. I want to point out something that Dr. Bill was talking about. An account basically he got with the fourth largest property management company in California, and he won the account to do the bed bug certification. His affiliation with that company came through the West LA Chamber. That's how they met, fellow board of directors members. So the bottom line is that being part of the chamber like this and participating on a regular basis really can make a big difference in your business. You just have to take advantage of the opportunities that the chamber works very hard to provide for you. So anyway, I'm glad that you brought that up. And a little bit more about Maharaja Cafe.
It's an Indian restaurant owned by a family. My dad is a head chef, and my cousin is also a head chef over there. So it's off of Westwood.
Very good. And if you haven't eaten there, you have to. They have fantastic food. You've
Yeah, we did a couple of networkings over there.
Yeah.
Other people
Right.
Amazing food.
Yeah.
Very good food. Also fairly big venue, so there's, it's not too difficult to get a seat.
Yeah.
But, and well decorated, not just a hole in the wall. It's a really good place.
And soon they're gonna have a beer and wine license too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need your card.
Congratulations. That's great. Well, welcome. It's great to have you. So awesome. All right, so that's it. I'd like to end with a quote. And today, since we all talk about New Year's resolutions and having good habits versus bad habits, it's a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. So Your net worth to the world is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. So go out there, get rid of your bad habits, make some new ones, and we'll see you next time.